Good evening, Shah Saab, Sachin ji.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
How are you?
Good. I am good.
गुड इव्हनिंग एव्हरीबडी.
नमस्कार, नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सर,
नमस्कार.
कसे आहात?
एकदम मजेत, मस्त.
सचिन जी
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. मजेत ना?
एकदम.
ओके,
All well.
गुड.
सचिन सर एकदम बिझी आहेत. भरपूर बिझनेस, त्यामुळे वेळ नाही त्यांना.
क्या
करेक्ट.
बात है. Wonderful.
मागे लाईट येतं का?
Good evening, Anand.
गुड इव्हनिंग, गुड इव्हनिंग. कैसा काय मोहन जी?
All is well.
यस, गॉड इज ग्रेट.
Subhash ji, good evening.
गुड इव्हनिंग. गुड इव्हनिंग.
मोहनजी आज
या.
काय असं एकदम अचानक प्रोग्राम?
Actually, the whole idea is, obviously, our members, we would love to hear them, how they are doing, what they are doing. So that is the idea, so that
Yeah,
others also understand what are the achievements which are happening in our own group,
yeah.
and they get inspired.
Yeah.
And every month, I think this kind of meeting we should organize.
Yeah,
to
it will.
interact each other.
It will.
Right.
हा नेटवर्क
Subhash ji, good evening.
गुड इव्हनिंग. गुड इव्हनिंग. काय म्हणतो आनंद?
अरे मजेत.
दर खेपेला इथे मी तुला बघतो,
हा.
दर खेपेला म्हणतो मी बोलायचं पण राहून जात.
अरे मग मी सांग ना, मी तुला उद्या फोन करतो. नो प्रॉब्लेम.
म्हणजे आम्ही दोघं एकमेकांना गेली 25 वर्ष तरी ओळखतोय.
क्या बात है.
आता भेटणं खूपच कमी झालंय, पण आम्ही दोघं एकमेकांच्या प्रवासाचे काय म्हणायचं सहचर आहोत.
हो.
म्हणजे हा माझ्या दृष्टीने जरा थोडा सिनियर मॅन आहे, बट म्हणजे आमच्यासाठी इथे खरंच मेंटॉर आहे तो. बट
क्या बात है.
we
क्या
have
बात
very
है.
good relation. We shared a really good relationship.
क्या बात है.
म्हणजे मी business चालू
Yes, it
केला
is
तेव्हापासून.
nice of him. Nice of him.
नाही
I
आपल्याकडे
have to
similar line
accept
मध्ये
it ना. मी बिझनेस चालू केला तेव्हा
Yes.
आपल्याकडे सिमिलर लाईन मध्ये 4-5 जण आहेत ना रे?
हो,
आनंद?
बरेच जण आहे.
बरेच जण आहेत.
हा, but we don't fight with each other. We
हा,
try
I know.
to combine together and go further. नाही
पण
का
कधी
शासन?
कधी असं होतं का
काय
इंटरेस्टिंग?
समुद्र आहे ना.
हा,
दॅट इज ट्रू. पण कधी असं झालंय का की एका ठिकाणी दोघं तिघं एकत्र आपले लोक आले?
नाही.
अच्छा.
ते आता समुद्र आहे ना, त्याच्यामध्ये काय आता
नाही,
जिथे
पण
मिळतं तिथे घेत.
तसं झालं तरी मग ते कार्डलिंग करता येईल ना. इट इज इन अ वे इट इज गुड. तसं झालं तर. हा.
डेफिनेटली.
इन अ वे इट इज गुड.
म्हणजे आपणच उलट 4-4 जणांनी जायचं आणि ते 4 कोटेशन दिले, एकाने हा घ्यायचा एकाने तो घ्यायचा.
करेक्ट.
म्हणजे आम्ही डिफेन्स मध्ये
नाही,
असंच
माझा एक-
करतो.
हाजी.
मोहनजी माझा एक कॉम्पिटिटर आहे, त्यांनी त्याच्या 3 कंपन्या उघडल्या
क्या बात आहे.
आणि तिन्ही वेगवेगळ्या माणसांना तो पाठवतो.
करेक्ट.
कस्टमरला असं वाटतं की अरे हेच प्रॉडक्ट चांगलं आहे, कारण 3 जण तेच प्रॉडक्ट
ट्रू.
घेऊन जातात. म्हणजे आता तुम्ही कार मध्ये जरी बघितलं ना, तर ते तसं चाललेलं आहे. म्हणजे क्रेटा आणि किया तुम्ही बघितलं ना, दोन्ही एकच मालक आहे.
करेक्ट.
मालक एकच आहे.
बरोबर आहे.
सचिन जी सॉरी, हम लोग मराठी में बात कर रहे हैं.
नाही, मला कळतं साहेब.
नाही, सचिन इज व्हेरी गुड, व्हेरी मच इज मराठी, महाराष्ट्रीयन.
मराठीतच ते.
हा, महाराष्ट्रीयन बट आहे तो.
हो.
फक्त टी ऍड केला तिकडे गेल्यामुळे.
डबल टी लावतो इकडे.
हा.
टेकिंग ऍडव्हान्टेज ऑफ गुजराती.
अच्छा.
because first
By the way,
Gujarati.
he is my cousin's brother, huh?
Sachin,
Ah,
Yeah.
the world is very small here.
Yeah.
so we also know each other for a quite long time.
Just
Like
like
you.
Subhash, just like
Like
Subhash
you.
and you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
आणि
नाही नाही
माझा पार्टनर आहे तुषार कुलकर्णी त्यांचे काय रिलेशन आहे हो सचिन तुमचा आणि तुषारचा
म्हणजे चट्टीचे मित्र आहोत मी त्याचा सिनियर
हो करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट
स्कूलिंग पासून
हो
because he is from our town, my birthplace.
करेक्ट करेक्ट
मोहनजी मला मराठी म्हणजे येतं असं लोकांनी सांगितलंय म्हणजे तुम्हाला अर्थ नाही येणार म्हणजे भले मी घरातच बोलतो पण तरी बरोबर आल्यानंतर माझं फार पॉलिश झालं
पण गुजराती येतं ना आता बोलतात.
गुजराती सर मी गुजरातीत शिकलो
क्या बात आहे.
मी मी आणले मी सांगत नाही तो समोरच्याला कळणार नाही की मी मराठी.
गुड गुड.
गुजराती तर मी पण आहे. मी माझं पण शिक्षण गुजरातीत झालंय.
हो बरोबर पण तुम्ही यू आर इन पुणे अँड ही इज इन बरोडा.
I am in Pune. I is in Baroda. Yeah. The Gujarati man is in Maharashtra and Maharashtrian is in
Gujarat.
શાહ સાહેબ હું મરાઠી છું પણ મને ગુજરાતી બધું આવડે છે.
મને તો I can write in good in Gujarati.
Yeah, same thing with me also. I can do that. I
Sir,
can read, write. There is no issue.
good evening to everyone. Let us start our program with the national anthem.
Yes.
I would request everyone to stand up and Amit, can you please play the national anthem?
Sure, sir. Amar, can you please start?
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata ki.
Jai.
So good evening everyone. So as per our ritual, we will start with arise oath and I request Anand sir to give arise oath to everyone.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. You can recite arise oath after me. I am a responsible human being.
I am a
responsible
human being.
Ready to support,
support,
share, and collaborate. I will be honest in my actions
I will be
honest in my actions
towards everyone.
everyone.
I will enjoy my journey
I will enjoy my journey
with a large heart and tolerance
with a
large heart and tolerance
towards Arise community and society.
towards
community and society.
I will establish entrepreneurial brotherhood
I will establish
brotherhood
to strengthen my country and humanity.
to strengthen my country and humanity.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Over to Niranjan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I welcome all for today's Synergy Meet. As most of you know, the Synergy Meet happens once in a month and with pure intent to connect the community together, share their views, share their problems, find out the solutions. And that is the reason that we are today here. We have got three great gentlemen for the first generation entrepreneurs, and they are going to share a lot of learning for us. And this is the agenda for this meeting. And I request Dr. Yogesh Pawar to introduce Arise to those people who are new to this platform, what benefits this Arise brings to the community, how it is helping overall, and on the level of national, how we are going to help.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Niranjan. I'm assuming that people can hear me. I'm sorry, I have logged in from Amit Deshpande's ID. I have to rush somewhere, but I'm definitely going to be introducing what Arise does, what have we been doing. And but before I do that, welcome Manish ji, Subhash ji, and Sachin ji. It is so happy to see that your stories are today will be published. They will not only stay in the community, they will also go on Facebook, they'll also go on our website. So thank you very much for accepting the invitation. And I'm happy and proud to say that you are all Arises. Thank you very much. So this is quickly from my side of what we, can I request Amar to make me the co-host, please? So ideally, what Arise is nothing but a people coming together with common beliefs of sharing, of collaborating, of educating each other, of inspiring each other, sharing business with each other, sharing right contacts with each other, so that we can grow. People who refer, each other, half of the job is done by the man who's referring it. So I think a lot of people are getting benefited out of it, and I'm 100% sure that people who intended to look at us as a potential platform to come together, I will only say one thing, that this is a platform which talks about economics but is emotionally bonded. This is a platform that is talking about working on economics but is emotionally bonded. And when you have people around you that you can trust, I think in the VUCA world, in the world of pandemic, you need people who you can trust. Very importantly, Arise takes care of a lot of activities when it comes to education, when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to networking, and we take care of a lot of spiritual, inputs to people and economical inputs to people, and that helps people to stay grounded in the tough times. Certain programs that we did, like program Operation, program Reboot, our Night of Truths, are programs that are highly appreciated by our members. With this, I will hand it over to Niranjan and hand it over to Mohan and all three of you. Pardon me, I have to leave today, but I will watch the recordings so that I will ensure that I'm not missing a single bit of it. Thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy the entire evening together. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Yogesh sir. Mohanji, I would like you to take an introduction of this today's agenda, and then let us start with the discussions.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Once again, welcome to all of you. I'm really delighted to be with all of you. And the format will be, this is just like a family talking to each other. Invariably, whenever we meet physically, we always have an intention to know more about each other's success. And what they say, I think I put it on the group also. If I share the, my happiness only towards my success, then I have limited moments. But if I, get happy by listening to the other's success, then I have infinite moments of success. So I really, I think that same ethos is there, which Anand has read through this oath also. That is the same for Arise entirely. And we try to follow. And we feel cherished by, sharing each other's success. We feel happy. So I will start the questions immediately without any other further this thing. And alphabetically, I'll go. Alphabetically. And alphabetically, I have chosen the first names. So M stands for the first in the alphabetically. So my question to Manish ji first. So obviously, the first question is, when did you started, how you started, and what challenges initially you faced? You speak on these three things. I mean, you can go ahead and speak.
Yeah. Thank you, Anandji. I am Manish Shah. See, I started my business in 1994. I am not from a business. I was not from a business background.
Okay.
Okay, my family, though being I'm a Shah, my family business, my family was not having a business. Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay. So my father was having a foundry, but at the age of 55, he lost his foundry and businesses and everything. So we are
Okay.
almost bankrupt. I can say we were almost bankrupt, and I came with with only 5,000 rupees in Pune. I studied MSc. I was the first. I came first in university in Shivaji University. Okay, I was first in university in Shivaji University. I did my physics, and then I came to Pune and did my MSc here, MSc in electronics. Okay.
Wonderful.
Then I worked for 4 years uh, for some companies, but during my work, I was never happy. I was always feeling that I don't want to work under somebody. So while working also, I was doing a business. Okay, going in a bicycle, then going by a bus to meet the customers, to find out some new opportunities. And in 1994, after I get married, I started my business. So when I got married, that time also my income was only 5 to 10,000 rupees.
Okay.
So I mean, I was not knowing what is a balance sheet also. What is a profit and loss also, I was not knowing. But only hoping that I will do some business here. Okay. And being a technical guy, I know what are the products I can manufacture and reach to the community in Pune.
Right.
So that is how I started my business in the name of Safe House Security. How the Safe House came into picture is because I was very keen about security business. I said Safe House will do the community, like will give the security to the community. Okay, that is how the name arises as Safe House. Okay, so Safe House started in 1994 with only one or two guys working with me. I started manufacturing a very small range of products. Okay, and then I reached to a developers in Pune. That time the property rates were very low. In 1994, only I was manufacturing water level controllers and some controllers. So that is how I reached to the developers in Pune. And since 1994 till 1998, I manufactured a lot of stabilizer, UPS. Okay, all those products I used to manufacture in a small, very small way. But after 1998, my business escalated, and then I did a lot of R&D. I invest a lot of in R&D and manufactured UPS up to 20 kV. Okay, but after 1998 till 2004, I was manufacturer, and the business I was doing, somebody has invested a big, amount in my business, but it was my family partnership. So that partnership break down, and my partner was my sister only.
Oh,
So in 2004, her husband says, I don't want to do a business. You make all of whatever money we want, you give it back to me. So again in 2004, I came back to zero. And again, myself and my wife started doing a business. Okay, so 2004 was my turning point where I started making money. So for 10 years, in fact, I was paying more and I was earning less. I mean, I was paying salary as 10,000 or 15,000, but my income was only 6,000 rupees. So that
oh,
was 10 years history. Okay. And since 2004, then myself and my wife, we started again with a 300 square foot of place, and we took a distributorship for microtech inverters or SUCAM inverters and all that. So during that period also, I was looking after a security business, because security was not known to anybody in Pune, like CCTV, fire alarm, access control system. All those things I am the one who started CCTV in Pune in 2001. Okay, the CCTV was not exist in Pune. People were not knowing what is camera. That time I started CCTV in Pune. And see, after 2004 to 2008, the CCTV business really boomed because of the bomb blast and all those factors. Like all the German factory जो bomb blast हुआ है, उसमें जो कैमरा लगाया था, that was installed by us. Okay. So Amenora projects, or if you see Mangeshkar Hospital, or you see Magarpatta, all there we installed around 900,000 cameras at one place, and there's all centrally being monitored at one place, and that is how the security business is boom. So after security, like CCTV camera, access control, fire alarm system, we are the one who did the biggest fire installations in Pune. That is around 3,000 detectors at one place. Okay, that was all IT parks and all that. We installed detectors and fire alarm systems. Okay, that is how my business increased. And in 2015, really speaking, I met Dr. Pawar. Okay, and he guided me what is how to do a sales performance management, then how to do a team management. All that he taught me in 2015. Till that time, I was not knowing what is a coach in business. So he is really he guided us, my team also. I arranged my team also for that webinar, seminars. My whole team is being taught by SIL in 2016. So we arrange all the team building and all that after 2015.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And now to 2021.
Wonderful.
We have a set of 40 people, and we have our own offices. We have 70,000 customers in Pune.
क्या बात है?
70,000 customers in Pune.
It needs a big round of applause. Beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Shah Sahab,
So
ये
that is how-
पूरा looks like a roller coaster slide.
Yeah, yeah.
Really,
All
and
the time, after every 3 years, we start something new.
very good, very good. No,
And
amazing.
and and now in 2020, I bought one. I invested in one small company, and I took that company as a manufacturing. So I invested in that small company to manufacture automation products.
Wonderful.
So we are again started manufacturing automation products, and in a year's time, we have more than 8,000 products ordered with us now.
क्या बात है?
We
Very
do a
good.
lot of automation now, which is
Very
really a biz world for all the builder community.
Wonderful, wonderful, amazing, wonderful.
So automation now we are manufacturing. I invested in that small company, and our manufacturing started again now.
Wonderful, wonderful. No, that's what they say. There are tough times do not last, tough people do last. So I'm sure.
Yes.
Everybody has
Very tough time, and
Correct.
every time something happens, I respond to that and I get outcome.
Wonderful, wonderful. So without the war, there is no gold medal. Yeah, so there has to be a war.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Shah Sahab,
Recently we got a big.
yeah.
Recently we got a big in Pune's biggest tower, that is Amenora Tower, 45 floor building. That is 100 tower. That is called Soransky Tower. That whole automation we are doing it.
क्या बात है? Congratulations.
That whole automation we are doing it now.
ये ऐसा सब information सुनने के बाद, you feel more and more proud with Arise and Arisians, isn't it?
Yes.
Definitely. We are so happy.
Yeah.
Really, now you have received congratulations on the chat box. So really, we are happy.
Yes.
Extremely happy,
Yes.
sir. Extremely happy. And we have all best wishes for further growth. No doubt about that.
Yes. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
I will come back to you, Shahji,
Thank you.
after another, after talking some few moments with Sachin ji and Subhash ji. Sachin,
Yes.
similar question to you. We are all talking together. ना? ऐसा नहीं कि एक लेके finish करो. I will come back to you for another question. I have already noted. So now one question to Sachin, one question to Subhaji, and I will come back to Shah Sahab again to you. So there will be 3-4 rounds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So my
Yes.
next question is to Sachin ji. Sachin ji, on similar lines, just share about when you started, why you felt like becoming an entrepreneur, what are the initial challenges. So you just go ahead and express about yourself on these lines.
Yes, sir. Good evening to all.
Yeah.
I'm Sachin Bhatt from Chemtrols Industries, Baroda.
Right.
The Chemtrols Industries was founded by one Mr. S.M. Makadia in way back in 77, later half of 77. And I was employed with their dealer, you can say, or total selling rights company. And I worked there for 12 years, and then I started my own business in 2002 with rubber lining. And as usual, rubber lining was not my field, but I did with, it was basically an arrangement of marketing. I was to take care of marketing, and somebody was to take care of manufacturing and the job. But then in 2 years' span, we did one good job in IOCL as well as in, say, CSEB, Torba. But I found that it is consuming my time, and instead of marketing, I am getting busy with the side job. So I left that and started again with the pumps in one of my friends for trading. So we started trading all type of pumps, and we were catering in Gujarat with two, three big companies from Maharashtra and abroad also. But then in 2008, I got one breakthrough with one company from Dubai. They wanted some piping job, complete piping job at Mundra in Kutch. It was referred by some of my close friends, and I got involved into that business, and we supplied the completed erection, commissioning, and all. And from there, it was a turning point for my business. Then I started filter paste manufacturing. I'm supplying filter paste manufacturing, means filter paste is also for solid liquid separation. In 2016, our old management of Chemtrols, they wanted to retire because of their age, and they called me and said, if you are interested, you can take over this company. And as I was working with this for 12 years, I was doing customers, applications, and the product, everything. I decided to enter into manufacturing, though it was not my cup of tea because I was from marketing background. But I thought, let us see that also, because the product is very good, and if I am not getting involved, it may exist or it may not exist. So I started manufacturing from 2016, and now we are doing well slowly and gradually. I met Mr. Yogesh Pawar in 2020, because I came to Pune for MaTech, and I came into contact with the SIL. And during lockdown, there was a mail from SIL, and I did Vision Mastery program. And from there, slowly now I am looking for other opportunities in my own business. And now we are even planning for some changes in the dimensions, and we are planning for even changing to the international standard, because as such, when this FRP pump was started, there was no standards available, because we were the first to manufacture non-metallic pumps, especially in India. And to the best of our knowledge, rather, we are only manufacturing in fiberglass molded construction. There are non-metallic pumps available, but in FRP, as such, nobody is there. So now again, we are trying for changing the dimensions and some modifications to compete with the international brands. Like there are 3-4 brands internationally available in glass line, means fiberglass molded pumps. So we are planning for that also.
Wonderful, 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 Sachin ji. Wonderful. And I think, I remember during the last 1.5 years prior to you became member, I was probably after you and requesting you. So I remember good memories that, and
yes, sir.
Yogesh ji was
and I'm always envy that I am in Baroda and you all people are in Pune. So it is easy for you all to get connected with each other easily. But in Gujarat, I am alone. So sometimes if I'm interested to again join with SIL for other things, but it's a bit difficult. But through web, the Zoom and all, at least we are connected, and I am getting showered with all other programs. So I'm blessed that way.
No,
Hey,
Sachin,
but Sachin,
yeah. Yes,
Sachin,
sir.
what my request is, you are not alone. You entire Gujarat is free for you to increase your viability for rice.
Correct,
Yes,
correct,
yes,
correct,
yes.
So
correct.
that is the best thing.
And
Yes, sir.
today, the as everybody is aware, physically there are no meetings in the last few months. So
Yes.
although we are connected, it is again digitally. So whether you are in Baroda or Delhi or in Pune, it hardly matters because of the change in the rules of the game.
Yes, yes.
So Sachinji, as Anand has rightly said, we would love to have some more members from the Gujarat. And it
Sure,
is so nice. And this FRP, just one question relevant to this.
Yes.
Who are the customers?
All chemical industries.
All chemical
All
industries.
chemical industries handling acid and alkalis. And then water treatment fellows like electrochlorination, chlorinated water.
And who else is with you now?
One of my partners from old management, one managing partner's son is with me.
Oh, very good. Very good. No, it gives tremendous energy and happiness once we see the horizons are growing and they are doing some different jobs, something totally different, probably what others cannot do. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, my next question to Subhash on the same lines. When did you start, and why you started? What were the initial challenges in your business?
I started actually as a businessman. When I was a child, I decided that I'll be doing some business. Since my childhood, maybe I started with initially when I was in 7th, I started my first endeavor where I started selling the crackers. See, coming from a middle class family, and that too where in our childhood we were not getting enough of crackers, and that was difficulty. So I decided when I was in 7th, my neighbors used to crack a lot of crackers, and I did not used to get those many crackers to burst because my father was opposing that. So at that age, I decided, okay, I'll sell the crackers, and whatever profit I'll earn, I'll just buy the crackers and burst all of them. I tell you, just to in those years, maybe I started when I think it was 76 or 77. When I was in 7th, I decided I'll do that. And in those years, I used to sell crackers worth about ₹1,00,000. And I used to blow up because in crackers, you have a lot of profit. I used to blow maybe more than ₹20,000 crackers just because I wanted to do that. That I continued till I was in 12th. And then I realized carrying those crackers in hand in college, I was in Ferguson. So I was little shy to carry. And then after 12th, I stopped. When I was in 12th, somehow I got admission in medical college, but I could not get admission in the engineering college because of probably I was the last one to get stopped the admission where the stop. So I could not get, in those days only COEP was the option. So I could not get admission in COEP. So I decided to do, I got admission in BJ Medical, but I did not want to do medical. I wanted to do always engineering, and that too electronics engineering. Because my friend's father was a TV technician, or rather not a TV technician, I would say radio mechanic in those days. And we had a lot of fascination about electronics because he used to boast on that. So I said, when I'll grow up, I'll become an electronics engineer. That was how I decided. I could not get admission to B final. So I decided to do diploma rather than doing doctor. Now I sometimes repent that I should have been a doctor and not an engineer, because there are a lot of things, advantage, especially in this COVID period, where doctors have a lot of advantages. So I did my DERE. That time it was after 12th. That is, DERE is Diploma in Electronics and Radio Engineering. Since my ego was terribly upset, I stood first in DERE. In those days, because it was terribly, ego was disturbed. See, I was so confident that I'll get IIT Bombay when I was in 12th. And that too, I was so confident that I'll get mechanical stream, which is one of the first few candidates. But I could not get it. So I decided to do diploma. In diploma, I stood first. Then there was a course called as IET, Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. So I did that. That is actually two-part section. I stood first, all India first attempt in the IET. Then for second part, you have to work for 2 years. So I did my, I would call as an internship in NELCO, that is National Radio and Electronics Company in those days. So there I was very lucky to be admitted in the R&D of that. So I worked there for 2 years, and after I did 2 years working, I joined again the second part of the IET. I stood first there also in All India. This could be probably the only person who has cleared IET first attempt, all section cleared, and All India first. Section B, first attempt, all subjects clear, and All India first. So I got an award from the that time Information and Broadcasting Minister Vasant Sati. So I was felicitated there in Delhi. I went there, and then I again did not want to stop there. So I did my BE, that Bachelor of Engineering from Pune. My boss was saying, why you want to do BE? Because IIT is considered as an equivalent to BE. So I did B because I said, if I do not do B in our community, I'll not get a good wife. Because if you are diploma, IIT is considered as equivalent. So I did not want to be in equivalent. So I did my BE from COEP. I passed out in 85. But since I had decided after doing this, I'll not do any service, I joined Wadia College as a teacher because I used to make a lot of fun of my teachers. Because our teachers, I mean, with due respect to them, they used to write one sentence, and again, because they were probably not confident, had no experience of actually work on hand. So, and they used to rub. So I used to make a lot of fun of those. So my principal said, in those days, you were making a lot of fun, and now you are saying that, so just prove yourself. So I did quite a few years of teaching in most of the colleges in Pune University. I have taught. That was my business in those days. I used to teach from 7 o'clock till maybe 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, my voice used to be like that, but still I used to teach. In about 2 months, I used to earn a lot of money, and other months, I used to do my business. I did my business in electronics. The name that I have is Ambionics, is ambition and electronics. Since childhood, I was little ambition and I wanted to do something in electronics. So I gave this name as an Ambionics. After that, I did a lot of things till 2019 in electronics, basic pure electronics. I have developed a lot of techniques for the detonation. I worked for defense extensively. In those days, defense was the easiest to enter in the business. So I did a lot of activities for defense. We developed a lot of things. One of my guns that I developed were used in Kargil also. Unfortunately, in those days, small scale was only for the development. And after that, whatever quantity production used to be there to the big customers, like BEL used to do, BHEL, then CEL, ECIL was another company which were manufacturing. So we were just doing the development for R&D, Digi. I worked for Prithvi Akash, Trishlu, Agni, Nag, all missile projects I have developed something or the other. But when it used to come to the manufacturing, the quantity manufacturing used to go to the main companies like BEL or ECIL. In 1999 or 98 probably, we had a company in Tata Motors. They wanted to start the car manufacturing. So I somehow got involved in the manufacturing of assembly lines. And that was my another activity. Actually, it has nothing to do directly with the electronics. we did a lot of mechatronics. So it was a manufacturing of assembly lines. In Tata Motors, I supplied them around 22 various type of assembly machines to make the Indica engine. So it was like crankcase leak testing. It was like the core plug assembly. There is for the castings, there are a lot of things for the core plugging and all. So that is how I entered in one line which was not directly related to the electronics. In electronics, in those days, we did a lot of battery chargers. I have more than 2,500 battery chargers installed in Maharashtra. In Gujarat also, I have around 500 battery chargers. Madhya Pradesh. These are used mainly for the rural electrification substations. So where it is either 11 by 33, 33 by 11 or other such small substations. So that is how I really started manufacturing. Meanwhile, we were working with the R&D of police wireless. So whatever the communication of police with the district level, we have done a little bit of it. And in 2002, we again got involved in one of the big companies like Asia Motor Works, where we did very good business for their auto parts manufacturing. It was for the what I would say noise elimination for the bus. So that is how we did. It was a very big business till 2007-9, when the world had a lot of issues in the having business. We were really flourishing because I had orders from BMW, Audi, Daimler Chrysler from Europe, and we were doing a lot of assembly lines or some machines or some activities for them in Europe. So I got disconnected from Indian market for some time, and then really the people with whom I was working in Europe, they got bankrupt, and our real trouble started. We had a lot of money blocked up over there. The AMW also did not pay us. Wherever we were doing good business, like Sandvik was one of my major customer, where we had done their entire power line 15 megawatt automation. It was 100% done by us. So like that, but since we were disconnected from them, then there was a very big turnover to zero turnover, because whatever Europe business was there had stopped, and we had a lot of issues. So I decided to enter in trading, which was not our actually cup of tea. So like that, so many things happened. I mean, I have done so many variety of activities. In 2017, I entered in another business, not my core business. It is in the press part manufacturing. So we have around 20 presses ranging from 10 ton to 250 tons. We have hydraulic deep draw presses. We have done so many things in so many fields: electronic, instrumentation, hydraulic, PLC based automation. Then we have done a lot of things for the diesel engine basic testing. India's first dual fuel controller, dual fuel engine, which ran for 50,000 kilometers from Delhi to Rohtak, was developed by us. Like that, so many development things are at our credit. I was the first one to do that in India, where CNG was substituting diesel to this 70 to 80%, and 20% was diesel. That we did for Cummins, we did for Indian Railways. Like that, there are so many things that we can do. We have been doing, and now I'm into 4 verticals. We have manufacturing of electronic equipment, where we make power electronics equipment. Then second vertical is trading activity. I have around 800 retailers in and around Pune, where we sell fans, lights, geyser, mixer, grinders. Then I have third vertical as solar systems in Gujarat. Sachinji, we have done a lot of installations in Gujarat. My recent installation is in Bharuch, 130 kW. Grid-tied inverter systems, and fourth is press part. That is how we are working right now. I think this is what I could do in short,
Wonderful.
because we don't have time.
No, really, it is wonderful. Now, one important part or probably a lesson or learning from your case, this Europe, you said, your money was blocked and something went wrong because of the circumstances. So I just, would like to know what will be the lesson to all of us so that this doesn't happen with the others.
Uh, for that, if you could give me 1 minute, I'll tell one small story.
Please.
See, there is a trap which is called as a monkey trap.
Okay.
You know what people do for monkeys to catch? You know, they put there is one peculiar type of vessel whose neck is very small, and they put peanuts in that.
Correct.
So, and they tie it at the various heights so that the monkey would come.
Correct.
And what monkey does is that he goes there and he puts his hand inside and he grabs the peanuts.
Yeah.
Now he is trapped. He cannot take out his fist because the fist cannot come out of the vessel.
Mm.
This is what is a learning from us. If he would leave the peanuts and then take out his hand, he will be out. But because of our greed, I am using a wrong word probably. He cannot leave that, and he gets trapped and he gets caught by the people. So this is what is a learning. You have to learn when to stop and when to leave. Most important thing is when you have to leave the activity is very important.
Very good, very good. But let me ask you. We are also doing probably Dr. Yogesh would be the right person, but right now he's not there. So I have also seen Anand. If Anand Paranspe is there, he can comment. There are insurances through the Exim Bank. Right? So insurance, probably the insurance premium which I know were in the vicinity of 6%, but then you are fully secured.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of thing can help.
Yeah, definitely. See, what I did in the enthusiasm, what happened is that two of my companies with whom I was interacting, they got bankrupt. See, I had gone to Hanover. One evening we met, we had a nice dinner, and next day morning we were supposed to meet and discuss a lot of things. The person was supposed to come and pick me up. He said, okay, I'll come at 8 o'clock. He comes at my hotel and he says, sorry, Subhash, we are not going to my office because last night my management decided to close down our factory. And in enthusiasm, without having anything, since I was working with them for 4 or 5 years, I had manufactured a lot of things. They had, see, in export, what is the best part is that you get most of your payment before the material is dispatched.
True, true.
So that is what I said. I said, why waste so much of time? Let's manufacture it and keep the things ready, because anyhow, I'm 100% sure I'll get the order. So that is how. That's why I said it's a trap. I could not leave it. That was my mistake. I cannot blame. So what insurance companies can pay me? See, it was my greed which made me this thing. But I tell you one simple example. If most of the people who are new to business, I'll tell you why I could get my export business, because I think that is worth listening.
Sure, sure.
See, I had received, I had participated in one exhibition in Goregaon exhibition complex. There was a German pavilion. I went there just to see because they were our neighbors. We discussed. He said, okay, we also have a lot of requirements because I work in PLC. In those days, we were working in PLC automation. So he said, okay, we have a lot of things. It was casual discussion. After he went back, I just thought of giving him a call. So I gave a call. He said, no, we are working with one company called Lotus Motor, which is a consultants for various automobile companies in the world. So he said, okay, we get our inquiries from various customers and we have to get it approved by Lotus Motors. So I said, okay, I'll approach Lotus Motors. I was very ambitious. So I said, okay, I'll go and meet them. So Lotus Motor, there was one Mr. Andrew Allam, who happened to be working in India. He spent a lot of time with our Mahindra and Mahindra, some of the big companies. And there I said, I gave him a call. he said, look, Subhash, with you Indian people, there are a lot of issues. You don't need the commitment and like that. I said, okay, you tell me what you really are looking for. He said, you really don't give up. Give the proper presentation and all. How do I believe in you? Because I have worked in India for more than 17 years. He was, I think, in 70s in those days. So he said, I'm very reluctant to give any business in India, because I said, okay, Andrew, I'll see you tomorrow morning in your office. It was maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon, where he had just, maybe in Germany, it was 8:30 or so. They start working little early. They start maybe at 7. So I said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow in your office. He said, are you joking? I said, okay, let's see. Fortunately, I had a Schengen visa of 3 years, multiple entries. So I said, okay, I'll see you. I booked my ticket. I took a flight from Delhi at 12 o'clock at night. I reached Frankfurt the next day morning. And from Frankfurt, I took a cab and reached directly to around 400 kilometers to his office. I was in his office
Amazing.
at 9:30. I was in his office at 9:30. And that is what was really a turning point. He was astonished. He said, oh, Subhash, I just couldn't imagine an Indian person who speaks to me at 12 o'clock in the morning, Indian time, and he sees me in my office as 9:30. I directly went into his office, and that is how we became very good friends. I did a lot of business in Europe. I earned a lot of money there also, but then unfortunately, because of, as I said, some mistakes.
सुभाष, ये जब आप बोल रहे थे, लिटरली रोंगटे खड़े हो गए, अनबिलीवेबल है. मतलब आज भी, अभी भी मैंने, हम बोलते हैं ना मराठीमध्ये चिमटा काढून बघितला, तसं झालं आता की हे काय आहे. आणि दिस इज रियली अमेझिंग आहे. आणि I will connect this with all decisions are emotional. डॉक्टर योगेश सर का एक सेशन हुआ था, and he was explaining about the brain. So he said all the decisions are emotional, and everywhere the emotions are seen. मानना पड़ेगा. Salute to you, Mr. Subhash. Wonderful.
But I tell you, with due respect to everybody, that you should not take emotional decisions, because most of the time I have taken the emotional decisions. Okay, I say I have earned a lot of money, but you lose a lot of money if you take the decisions emotionally.
But the surprise is, usme I am not a master. The surprise is nobody can take a decision without emotions. वो brain का management ऐसा है. Brain का management ऐसा है. So anyway, so wonderful. I am really excited, and this is a big lesson. So see, this is your passion. See, this is the lesson. Because of the passion, because of the love for the country, because you wanted to prove that bloody hell I can do it. So all those things have come there, na? And then you showed them this. Yes, if I wish I can come there. Don't talk about the other shits. So wonderful, yeah. It was a beautiful lesson, and it is something which is absolutely speechless, है कि आज आदमी इंडिया में बैठा है दिल्ली में, and tomorrow you are there. So wonderful, amazing. Hats off.
That is what we should do really, and that is how we can grab international business, because they don't believe in us. I am very proud. I have taught Germans mechanics. Though I am an electronics engineer, I have made lot of additions to their engineering, and I take a pride in saying that we Indians do have definitely better brains than all the world.
Wonderful. By the way, you did DRE from Vadia only?
Vadia, there was only one college.
Yeah, there was only one college during those days.
Yeah. So actually, Niranjan, myself, and you.
COEP.
You are also DRE.
No, I did.
I'm also DRE.
No, I am.
Sir, I am also DRE.
Oh, that's great.
And 89 pass out.
Yeah, Niranjan.
Pass out when? When did you pass out?
89.
Okay, I passed out in 81. I'm 81. So you have not seen the Talwalkar. You have not seen Talwalkar, what he was.
I seen. Yeah. So he was there. I was there in the last year. The first year of my course, he was there.
You passed out in what? 79?
89.
Oh, okay.
I passed out 83 mechanical.
Okay, so Kale and all teachers.
Correct.
I know, you know what I was referring to.
Correct. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, my next question is to Shahaji. आपका भी you were earning 6,000 and paying 10,000 salaries to the others. So really it is manna padega. Then you had the tie up with sister, and then again, it went wrong, and again you patched it up. So yes,
I'll tell you my biggest turning point. Pune में क्या था in 2004, 2002, 2004, every day 2 hours shutdown.
Yeah.
So inverter business boomed those days.
Correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
I'll tell you, literally I'll tell you कि I used to truck भर के माल में भेज रहा था.
क्या बात है.
Truck भर के माल भेज रहा था.
Wonderful.
And second turning point is the bomb blast. 2006 to 2009, there were a lot of bomb blasts in all over India. So security boomed those days.
True. I agree.
And I took that as an opportunity. Let me tell you very, very honestly.
Wonderful.
So it is not the right. See, I'll tell you, when German bakery bomb blast happened, I approached all the hoteliers, all hotel association. Okay. So in Pune, whatever the big hotels or small hotels, they give me an approval for CCTV in all hotels.
Wonderful.
So we did all the CCTV installation in all hotels those days. Now CCTV is very mandatory in all areas.
True.
So those are the two factors. And again, last year, we started automation system.
Wonderful.
So again, the builders have started giving automation in all the residential premises.
Wonderful.
So again, there is a turning point.
Shah Sahab, I was there in 99 in Japan, and there was a course on Indian entrepreneurship development. So wahan, I saw they took us to the MSME in Japan. They were manufacturing incense sticks. And that company, it was just having 25 people, but that was running since last 400 years. 400. And they were having a database of 400 years. And they said, we want to run it for another 400 years. And if you see on Google and Japanese, there's one hotel which is there for last 1300 years. Now, in India, we have seen, there's no casteism or anything like that. But in Parsis, the business goes for 10, 12 generation. In Gujaratis, it goes for 5, 6 generation. In Maharashtra, unfortunately, 1 or 2. So, but the trend is changing. So now my question, which is relevant to each one of us, we had a debate in one of our AOP at Atmantan in the night when it was conducted. 50-50 people were on one side and the other side. So your close family, like your wife and your next generation, is there any support, and how would you like to take it ahead, that business, by the next generation or whosoever is supporting you? That is my next question, which will be important for all of us.
I will tell you, sir.
Please.
I will tell you. See, there's one salesperson in my organization who worked in my organization for more than 7 years.
Okay.
So he's a good sales guy. I made him a partner in my company.
Okay.
Because now I'm almost running 58 years old. So I said now, because I'm not doing any manufacturing much activity. Manufacturing is given to somebody else. Okay, I just invested there in that company. They are manufacturing for us. And the sales is very important in any business. If you have sales, I think everything can be turned around. So I made him an unofficial partner. So he is now that, in any business, to get the sales guy is very, very difficult.
Correct. Very.
So I made him as a partner, and he is a sales director now. So the person who was working at my place, he's become a partner.
Okay, great.
So I suppose next, after I don't find I'll retire another 5-7 years, but he will carry that business.
No. The important is again, these are some of the learnings from one of my guru. These learnings, whatever you have learned in the last 20, 30 years, 40 years, that should be shared for the next generation.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
So the whole idea is to push it down the next generation.
That's right.
Yeah. Any other specific incidents, just like Subhashji has shared, any other incidents which you feel you would love to share, Shah sir?
Yeah, I will tell you कि now see, there are many businesses, they find an investor.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, your investor, you should not give everything to him, because otherwise, I'm a small scale industry, they put an investment in your company and they become big and you work for them.
Correct.
So, I mean, your investor should be your near and dear,
Okay.
or your families, or whoever your friends, they should be your investor. I mean, I find it, if you find the investor, a big investor in your company, you will make them happy, but you will not be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with this. That means you are trying to say, in case you want to make somebody rich, let us make our people only rich.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
perfectly, that's a beautiful lesson. Beautiful lesson. That's right. Now, Sachin ji, आपके कुछ experiences ऐसे ही, yeah?
मेरा दूसरा एक suggestion है. The second suggestion is fast. कोई भी expansion जो है ना, don't do a fast expansion.
Yeah. Okay.
There are businessmen who makes money. They want to expand fast.
True.
But I have seen a lot of developers in Pune. They made say 50 crore and then they invest in property. They feel that now I can make big amount.
True.
But
True.
once they go on investing in a big way, there are chances they miserably fail. So expansion should not be a fast. It should be a slow process and sustainable.
Absolutely right. I think you are trying to say you eat only that much which is digestible.
Is it digestible?
Yeah, absolutely right. There are many cases where we have seen builders, we have seen few other people, those who went ahead,
and they dropped down.
Yeah. Now, Sachin ji, over to you. Now,
Yes,
Sachin ji, share few wonderful experiences in your own life also.
As I said, I started my business in 2002, 2004.
Yeah.
And did basically I was in pumps. I'm working with accounts departments, excise department. I'm basically a commerce graduate, but I wanted to work with marketing, and that's the reason I came to Chemtrols in '89. So after that, I thought let me start with the pumps only, because rubber lining was failed. I was not knowing technology and all. So I started with the pumps, and then we work for different pumps. And now I can say that I can take care of any pumping solutions. I can guide, I can select any pumpings and all. So when I came to know about Chemtrols and they offered me opportunity, I thought let me try with the manufacturing also. And last 3 years I'm putting my nose, and now I can say that I am learning. Still I am learning, but yes, now we can take care of manufacturing of FRP pumps also, which we are doing. We are trying to expand. We are trying to change the technology change also. We are trying automation to an extent. So that all we are doing for last 3 years, and looking for the export market particularly, because we are competent. We have to change the certain dimensions, and we can be with the at par with the even international manufacturers. We have replaced certain things in our country also. Certain imported pumps we have replaced. We have developed certain changes into international pumps, which we are available in OAGC and all. And successor plant, as you said, I have to hand over to somebody else, because in my family, nobody is there to take care of future business which I am developing. So I am also of the opinion of Manish Bhai, and I am right from the day one, I have in my mind that whosoever will be competent at that point of time from the organization itself, whether it's a sales guy or a manufacturing guy or whosoever it may be, I will hand over as a partner, and I will be out from slowly and gradually. So that is my plan.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
this I came to know when I started my career in '90. One of our dealers, he did the same thing, and from that day onwards, it is in my mind that whenever I will be handing over, I will hand over to the same जो भी हमारे साथ काम कर रहा है उसी को hand over करूँगा.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful. And while handing it over, you will ensure that, I was talking to one of the public sectors in I can say a name also, GSFC. I was talking to one senior person some time back, and he said, we were in cooling towers, we are in cooling towers, so we were repairing one cooling tower. He said, you try to do in such a way that as if, you train your own daughter, and then once she gets married, her in-laws should appreciate her. So that's how it is. So that's a beautiful thought. That's a beautiful thought. You create your company, you create your product in such a way that as if it is, it will be handled by your in-laws. So wonderful.
The company should run. Company should
yeah,
be
absolutely.
there. We are there or not, it's a different thing. But the product or company should be there.
True. True.
Because as you said, 400 years and 1300 years.
Yeah.
So at least that company should go. The product should go.
True. सुभाष जी, एक immediate point ऐसा आ रहा है, chat box पे आ रहा है कि I could see that you have been a guide to ME, and one of your I think trainee, mentee is here, so you can speak something about that.
Since I was teacher, I did a business of teacher, let me admit. I was teaching for a very long time, till 1997. That was my passion, actually. I did it because I said it's very easy to laugh at our teacher.
Yeah.
I tell you the experience. When I taught, I was only 21 years old. And my first students, the batch of students was part-time degree, Wadia College.
Okay.
The students had kids of my age. So I started teaching them. And I had studied a lot, that time the part-time lecture used to be for 2 clock hours. Whatever I had prepared got exhausted in maybe 15-20 minutes. And I realized now I have to continue for another hour and a half. And that time really I realized it, what our teachers must be facing when they stand in front of a crowd. And that too, I was only 21 years old and the students were more than 45, 50 years old. So I realized now here my experience, my capabilities would really count. To tell you, and I have told my students also, because afterwards they became my friend. I told them I had finished whatever I had prepared in first half an hour itself. But I could carry on for another hour and a half, just because I had an experience, I had worked. I have more than 2,000 books with me, and probably all the books have been read by me.
Great.
I read a lot. I used to read a lot, and I have not read only the magazines or anything, but whatever technicals book I have read completely. I had in those days the experience I had experience in power electronics and microcontroller so that was my really very good subject, industrial electronics. Unfortunately, if you know our teachers, since you are from the same college, there was one HOD called Mr. Kharkar.
Yeah, very
of
much.
Electronics.
Yes.
So Mr. Kharkar was teaching the half part of the subject which I was teaching. Yeah. And the students were not very comfortable. So they complained to the principal that we want Subhash Mainkar as our teacher for the other half also. So I'm telling you this as an experience. We were getting only 45 rupees in clock hour in those days. I'm saying when the salaries were not as high as these days. So Kharkar thought that I am doing it because I want to earn that 45 rupees. I said, sir, this is my college, and because of V.R. Deshpande, our principal then, I have come to this field. So even if I don't get even 1 rupee of it, I will teach here free of cost. Students want it not because of anything else. I pursued them to teach, but they liked my teaching. I used to go to the class without any books. I used to carry only a duster and a chalks. And this is what I had decided when V.R. Deshpande, our principal, had told me to teach in the college. Because I was a little notorious student. I used to play hockey. I played hockey nationally. in college. So
Wonderful.
my teacher used to, if you know Talwalkar, KB Talwalkar, he was totally against doing anything else but the college. So I said, okay, I'll play hockey. I used to play. I am a Pandit, Rashtrabhasha Pandit. During DRE, I became Pandit. So he said, "अरे अपने को बोलने को आया तो क्या करने का? सिर्फ इतना ही करने का." Then I got up in the class and said, "Sir, मग काय संध्याकाळी सारसबागेत पोरी बघायच्या का?" And he was really wild at me. He was really wild at me because he said you should study only, nothing else. We had gone to Goa when we had a college exam. So that way I was little notorious in that sense. But teacher said, okay, let's see how you pass in this subject. Fortunately, I was a board of study member, Pune University. More than 25 teachers who are presently professors have done their masters in, I would not say under my guidance, but I helped them to do their B. Amy also. And whoever are right now teachers or professors, some of them have done their projects at my end. I have guided them. And okay, I don't want to be very humble, but okay, I happen to be part of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Subhashi, yeah, I actually see incidentally, the 5th September is a Teachers' Day.
Yeah.
And you are speaking at the right time. You know, you have probably 2-3 lessons from your just now whatever you have talked. One is, you know, you are talking about ethical teaching and devoted teaching. And you know, fundamentals of the teacher should be clear, then only you can teach the others. And number 2, you mentioned 2000 books. That is fantastic. आणि आपल्याकडे मराठीमध्ये एक पूर्वी सिरियल होती, वाचाल तर वाचाल.
Yes.
वाचाल तर वाचाल.
वाचाल तर वाचाल. So, and there is another thought which I have, I have learned from one of my guru. Is learning increases earnings.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is where even RISE is working the same lines. In the last so many years, we are trying to share all those who are achieved something to the others. So wonderful, Subhashi. Now, one last round from my side, then it will be open for the others. One small question, but very, very important for everybody. And in today's world, it is further important. Is I want everybody to speak in 1 or 2 minutes on cash flow, how they manage the cash flow. Starting with Manish ji. Cash flows is very, very important. And we would love to learn from each other how you manage the cash flows.
Money is always short in business.
True.
It is always short in business.
True.
Whenever you do business, money is always short.
Correct.
Okay. But you have to see that you reserve some fund for the next 2-3 months.
Agreed.
Like you should know what are your expenditure for a monthly expenditure, or what is your cash flow every month. Like, I mean, I do a practice every month. On 1st of every month, I found out how many creditors I have to pay, how many receivables are there, and I mean, what is my bank balance. Every month, I see the 1st of every month, I plan it. Suppose I have to pay, say, 1 crore rupees to my supplier. So, supplier का list पूरा ready रहता है कि ये पैसा देना है. और जो आने वाला है, जो whatever is incoming, that also is ready. So this money should be received and received. So I fight for वो पैसा आना ही चाहिए वो month में.
मतलब it is a process. You have made it highly disciplined.
Discipline. 1st of every month, my total cash flow statement is ready. और दूसरा, the second thing what I do is, जो भी, I mean, we are in projects. We are not product selling company. Okay.
Correct.
So whatever project we do is कि उसका profit and loss, हर एक project का profit and loss मेरे पास ready रहता है. I have a, suppose I get a business of say 80 lakhs. So 80 lakhs का पूरा breakup मेरे पास रहता है कि this is my profitability.
You how do you do that? You have a ERP for that separate?
We have a ERP.
Correct.
And point to point, like suppose there are say 15 items in that project. So उसका हर एक 15 item का cost is ready with me. It is in ERP.
Yeah.
And it is given to my sales guys. This is my margin, company's margin. Below this, you cannot sell the product.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So ERP, I have prepared that ERP for myself. मैंने पूरा 2 years I made ERP for my company.
Very good, very good.
तो इसमें whenever you put a quotation, तो उसमें सामने cost आ जाता है. What is the cost of the product?
Excellent, excellent.
So without the cost and whatever the quotation we make, उसमें profitability मालूम रहता है कि this is 25%, 20%, 40% profit of margin है. So how much to go down? That all the sales guys know it.
Correct. Very good, very good.
So every month to month profitability निकलता है. Every month, what is the monthly profit, that I know it.
True.
So,
Yeah, great. Now, before going to Sachin ji, I will. Yeah, please go ahead.
So very important. Cash flow is very important nowadays.
Absolutely, you are right. So before going to Sachin ji, I will just make one a quick appeal to all those who are present. Those who are non-members, I would love that they become members of Arise and keep contributing, keep sharing all your wisdom and knowledge, everything, and keep bringing good guests so that the entire community is benefited. Now over to you, Sachin ji, on cash flows. You have any lessons which you would love to share with us?
Sir, we have a practice that every twice a month we pay for our all suppliers, that is 15th and 30th. And by God's grace and our this thing, we are our self-finance company. We don't have any bank limits or bank facility as on date. For the last 4 years, I'm handling. We don't have much bigger size of the business, but whatever we are doing with the self-finance.
Wonderful.
And every 15 days we have a cash flow, which in front of me. So we plan accordingly, and then we pay for our all suppliers and all other expenses.
Wonderful.
So every month, 15 days on every 15th and every 30th.
Wonderful.
And most probably we have never ever faced in last 4 years in my tenure that we have short of money or anything else. Even in COVID also.
Great.
We paid full salaries to our people and all those things.
क्या बात है?
And 90% of our payments are against delivery, the new customers. And the big customers like Tata and Reliance, where you don't have any option. But fortunately, we are getting in time. That 30th day, we get the payment.
Sachin ji, hats off to you. This is a very important point which you shared. Is even in pandemic, you have made the salaries. So you have
And
not discounted.
it was another quote by my earlier management that you have to first pay your supplier and then you have to think about your money. So that is a practice. Every 15th and every 30th, we take care of our all payments. And if we are not there, we even take care of payments in a day in advance also. Even in salary.
Very good. Now, same question to Subhash ji. Yeah.
Okay, I tell you, I did not deduct even 1 rupee of my suppliers or my employees during lockdown. I paid them 100% sitting at home. So as far as this thing is concerned, I said that it is we I would say people would throw anything to only mango trees and not to bubble. So I said, okay, whatever problems we will have, we only will have to take care of it, and we will pay to everybody who was there as my employees. We paid. Only thing I changed that we give probably my size company, very few people will have all the facilities that are there. I had 21 days holiday for all my employees, including my peon, my driver. Everybody will get 21 days paid holiday. I deducted that. So I said, I am paying you 2.5 months salary sitting at home. Only difference I'll do is that henceforth, if you would take a holiday, I'll deduct your salary. I told them I'll give you 50% of bonus, not complete, because you also have to take a little pinch. So for 2.5 years last year and this year, nearly 3 months, because I deal in the retail market also, where my salesman could not go because the market was closed. I said, okay, it is a principle that we will not deduct even 1 rupee, whatever is there. So as far as the cash flow is concerned, we have a roller coaster. Fortunately, I have helped or I have maintained the habit of paying all my suppliers against delivery, sometimes in advance also. So that what I do is that in order to maintain, I have very less overheads as far as concerned, which is also not good. Earlier times, I used to key in all my tally entries. I did not have accountant when my turnover was 25 crore rupees, nearly 22, 23 crore rupees. I did not have any person besides my maid who used to make tea for us. No non-productive staff. So whoever was employed, everybody was working, including me. If there is no driver, nobody to deliver the goods to the customer, I used to drive tempo and deliver it there. So that is how I have really maintained a very low skeleton. And that is how we used to manage. I don't draw any salary. Unfortunately, that's not a right thing for a businessman. So my family suffered and my employees enjoyed. So that is what I said. But none of my, in this context, I would like to say my principle of life, and I would like every one of us should follow that. I written behind my table where I sit, my supplier is not a beggar. At the same time, my customer is not God. Either supplier or customer needs each other equally well. That is my principle. I have never squeezed any of my suppliers just because he is in a need of a business. At the same time, I never let my customer squeeze me because I am in need. I have given any n number of businesses just because he tried to squeeze me, or I have paid extra money to my suppliers because he was in need. That's not a business. I tell you, this is not a business, but I say I am not a businessman. I am an entrepreneur. And what entrepreneur does is he solves the problem of people. I may not be very good in finances, but I am very big or very great as far as the people wishes are concerned. None of my suppliers would ever say, when my lot of business had stopped, I had a lot of debt, but none of my supplier would say that, okay, Subhash will not pay us, because I had paid them happily. I never have done unnecessary arm twisting of any of my supplier. But I would say this is what is a principle one should do. I have let go lot of business, lot of money just because of maybe entrepreneur ego, that okay, you don't want to pay, don't pay, I'll not follow up. And that's not a good for business.
Wonderful, wonderful. Subhaji, actually, I will just say one point on this. It is totally different thought, which is very noble and very, I mean, it is 100% ethical. And the moment you said the entrepreneur's definition against the businessman, Ratan Tata, he has said the same thing. He has put the words like this. The entrepreneur is the one who is helping the society also along with the business. So that is how he has defined the entrepreneurship.
I'm so fortunate that I have worked with Ratan Tata.
Yes, yes.
When I was only 18 years old, just passed out of DRE, I was the first one to be employed as an R&D, which was a brainchild of Ratan Tata. I was in Nelco. I was sitting just next to his cabin, and I have never seen a person so humble, even in those days. He was that time most eligible bachelor in India, but I mean, he was a gem of a person in those days also, when he was not what Ratan Tata is right now. And I happened to meet JRD Tata, who is my idol in the life. At least 2 times in my life, I have shook hand with him. And that's it's a great thing for anyone to achieve in his life.
No, Subhashi, I'm sure you must be blessed the way you are talking. You know, Ratan Tata and JRD, everybody would love to meet them, would love to be around them. So wonderful. I'm excited and I'm really happy with all of you listening. Maybe there could have been many more questions, but because of the lack of time, now if there are any quick questions from the audience, they can talk about it, they can speak about it, ask. I'm sure, you know, everybody must have enjoyed. So if there are any questions, please unmute yourself and they can ask. Or I think it was a wonderful session with all of you, and I wish mega success in future also to all of you. Thanks for joining also. Niranjan, can you
Yes, sir.
go ahead with the vote of thanks or any appeal anything which you would like to share?
We are part of Amazon. There is no need of vote of thanks. We are
There is
sharing.
no need of what.
Yeah.
That's true.
We have just shared our.
But these inputs that you have given are, I think, very valuable to everyone who has joined this seminar. And I think definitely there is a vote of thanks from all of us. We learned a lot of things, and how you have reached to these levels. So it's a wonderful interaction, Mohanji, very well discussed, and I think time was a limitation.
Niranjan ji, 1 minute, I would like to say to everyone, because we are all entrepreneurs, I would like to tell you that you must have heard a poem, Eka talyat hoti badake pile sureka, eka kurupa vede. So we have to understand we all are a swan and we are not ducks, ugly ducklings. So everybody should say and put his hand behind his back and say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a swan, I'm not a duck. Sorry.
Great.
Wonderful, Subhash. Wonderful.
Very nice of you, all of you. And I think, Mohanji, we should have more sessions like this on every energy.
100%. We are all enjoyed. So nice of you, and God bless you all. And let us say, we remain together forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anandji. Thank you. You have listened
very much
patiently.
Yes.
I'll definitely come and meet you once because I have a lot of things to learn from you.
Yeah, so nice of you. Thank you. I declare that this session is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.